what a night of fights. So rather than sitting here and trying to go into in-depth detail about each of the fights, all I'm going to do is give a few kind of observations that I haven't really seen anyone else talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is the crowd itself, right? So this is the first time in a year we've had a full house. We've had a live audience, and I saw so many people talk about the fact that, I actually enjoy it without a crowd because you get to hear the impact of the strikes and you get to hear what the corner is saying to the fighter during the actual fight. And I appreciate that, I understand that, and in certain circumstances I agree with that. But nothing beats the roar of a crowd when someone hits a deck. Do you know what I mean? And like, you get in certain parts of America, and I don't know enough about America geographically, and I don't really pay a close enough attention to tell you this city is a really crap audience, but then this city is a really good audience. I don't know. But I didn't think that Jacksonville, Florida had a reputation for being a city where the crowd comes out and are very kind of vocal and interactive with the event. And yesterday, I put it down to the fact that it's been over a year since these guys have been to a live event in a full house, and it was, the card was stacked, and it's like the fighters and the audience just fed off each other. Each fight on the card, it was like a crescendo. Each fight just boom, 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 louder and louder and louder and harder and more impact. And with each fight that was happening, and then the audience were responding by getting louder and louder and louder. And I missed it, man. I missed having a crowd at a live event. The thing that I didn't miss, and I was talking to my mate Redneck about this, is these Americans love doing a woo. Woo! Woo! Like, what? Why? I actually asked him, why do you lot always woo at events? Like, what is the story behind this? And he was like, I don't know, I hate it. And so do I hate it as well. But it was a welcome return for me, having a live crowd. And like I say, I think they both just fed off each other. When I say they, I mean the audience and the fighters. And I think they both kind of, it was just such a beautiful marriage. And this is why, personally, I prefer having a crowd at an event. One thing that I saw Luke Thomas say, because like I said, I've been listening to content today, and I heard Luke Thomas's post-fight reaction. I listened to weighing in. I've seen people react to the fights on Twitter. And one thing that I noticed, and Luke Thomas was one of the guys that made the point, is why are you guys booing Weili Zhang? And I don't see the problem with it. Like, I think it's easy to misconstrue backing your own guy, your own fighter, your own girl in this situation, aka Rose Namajunas, who fights from the States. You can understand why the crowd were supporting her and why they had her back during the fight. And it's easy to misconstrue supporting your own with, I don't know, I don't want to use the word, but racism. But I don't see it that way, man. I think there's a reason why American fighters, be it mixed martial artists or boxers, talk about the fans in the UK and talk about the atmosphere that you get at live events in the UK and compare it with what they're used to in America. And I honestly don't see the problem with an American audience supporting their own American fighter against someone from China. And like over here in the UK, it's you don't even bat an eyelid at someone coming from another country coming to fight one of our own British fighters and that person getting abused. That's all part of it. That's the whole point of having the home advantage. You get it here if it's two cities. Like, someone might be from Manchester, he's fighting someone from London, and then the Londoners will get behind the Londoner if the fight's happening in London and vice versa. Like, that's just how it should be. That's how it should be. Like, I've seen on YouTube, oh, epic entrance of Darren Till coming out in Liverpool to Sweet Caroline. And then like, that's not, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it was a good entrance, but that's not like, oh man, that's epic. That is. That's just what happens in boxing events. That's just what happens. And actually this, like, Americans, right, as an audience, they don't really have a lot of like chants that they know, or like just culturally, there's not just like I suppose in football there's a culture of chants, and generally speaking, no matter who you support, there's like a handful of chants that everybody will just know the words to, or know the tune and know what words to fill in to that tune. I don't feel like they have that in America. And actually yesterday, the audience, they were there was a few chants that went up, and I thought, oh, that's new. I'm not used to hearing Americans actually have a chant. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like people need to just chill out a little bit, man. Stop. Just let people. There's two people getting in a cage and fighting each other, and they're doing what they can to back the fighter that's from their country. Let them. It doesn't mean they're racist, because actually, if you really think about it, if these guys, if the audience yesterday were racist, then when Kobe Covington came on camera, he would have had unanimous cheers. And I'm not saying Kobe Covington himself is a racist, but what I'm saying is, stereotypically speaking, the type of person you'd say is a racist is the type of person that would be a fan of Kobe Covington. And when he came on the screen, it was a mixed reception. He had cheers and he had boos. But when Rose came out, it was unanimous cheers. And when Weili Zhang came out, it was unanimous boos. They're supporting their home fighter. It's the home team. It's like in a football match. Just because I will swear at a player that plays for an opposing team doesn't mean that I'm racist. It just means I want my team to win. So I'm trying to do my best to put the opposing player from the opposing team off. But yeah, that's all I really wanted. I wanted to really say that, because I felt it was being unfair to the crowd, man. I saw someone tweet, hey, come on, Jacksonville, we're better than this, man. Why are you booing Weili Zhang? Just because you boo Weili Zhang, it doesn't mean that you don't rate how good she is or her skills, or just it doesn't mean that you think she's not a very good fighter, or like, you know, you've got an issue with her personally. I'm pretty sure if the people in that audience yesterday saw Weili Zhang out in the city today, they'd want to go up to her and say, oh, tough luck, man. I'm really sorry what happened yesterday. Can I have a picture, please? That's just the way I see it, man. But I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think I am, man. I don't think that just because people are booing it makes them racist or they're disrespectful or whatever. But let's talk about